Hi everyone, and welcome to today's card tutorial where I have got another card part of the Altenew Educator program. I've just recently completed the Beautiful Details class and I wanted to showcase to you with what you've done or got in your stash. So for me, I've been playing a lot with gel printing. These are the colors I've used from Montmart, and I wanted to showcase what I've got in my stash, as in pre-printed panels, in this case gel printing panels, with what I can use and do to create a card with what I've learnt. So what I've learnt with Marika's with her classes, there's so many ways to add detail. She showcases a lot in pencils and pens, and I really wanted to use my pigment pens and how else to add details. So for me, I've already done this panel here with the Mega Blooms. I'm going to add details with my Sharpie marker and my black pigment pen here as well. I have placed the stencil back over to the gel print panel that I've already created, and that's one thing I've done. Like, I've done a lot of playing with my gel prints with stencils and backgrounds and rubber stamps and alcohol inks and dye inks, and I really wanted to start using those panels. So to enhance this panel and turn it into a card, I'm going to first trace along. There's no particular part of the tracing that I'm doing. I'm really just doing maybe only one side of each tracing leaf of this bloom, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing like the whole section. What I will do though is add extra details with my other pen. So once was happy with the tracing component and I've done as much as I can that I feel like that needed the details, I'm going to add another set of details. The detail I'm going to add is one I've done in the past with my colouring. My Copic colouring is adding dotted detail. I feel like this gives a bit of depth, this can give a little bit of texture, and just add a detail to an overall coloured image. Sometimes when I'm doing little fairy images like little fairy critters, I'd add little, freckles and that kind of thing. So with this, I'm going to continue on what I've done in the past, but this time with this Mega Floral Bloom stencil. Now, I love this stencil. When I first got it, I kind of felt like, what am I going to do with this? Other than add ink and beautiful ink blending, and I will create another card following Marika's adding pencil details. I wanted to know, it was good to know I could use it with my gel printing. Now I will get in closer here on what I'm doing to add detail. So all I'm doing is adding dotted detail, and it's hard to see here, so what I'll do is I will add some focus and zoom in. So here's a close-up, and then what I'm going to do is make sure, and it's just dotting, that's all it is. It's nothing spectacular, but it is adding that extra detail, and sometimes the extra detail is what works. I am going to keep today's card fairly simple. I'm going to add this big panel by cutting it out onto a 5x7 card base. I'm going to cut around this whole blooms. I'm cutting around with some paper snips, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit of white space. And how cool is that texture of that gel printing? I absolutely love it. So I used acrylic paints today, and there they are on the top left. I used pink, fluoro pink, and magenta. I really felt the vibe going on with the bold type of print and color combo. just going to give this a little bit of a haircut of any overhanging detail there. Now another detail that I wanted to add is I basically added, or cut fine strips of black cardstock. I'm going to add 3 strips on the top left, 3 strips on the top bottom, right bottom. So that's just going to add another bit of detail. It's not a whole card front panel I'm adding. Usually I do a lot of matting and layers because I love that layered look, but to keep it on the simple side, all I did was use my Barely Arts glue. It dries clear. It's a little bit more thinner than the Tombow Mono, which is another adhesive that I alternate with. And I really felt this was perfect to add the details through. So I just add 3. I've got a thicker strip, so a thick, medium and a thin strip. And I kept that kind of black cardstock because I'm also going to use black cardstock for the sentiment. Once I've finished adhering these down, I will give them a little bit of a haircut and then place it on the bottom right as well. Now that's something different. If you have not done before, you can use coloured cardstock. I had done classes or cards before where I've used multicolored on a double-sided adhesive sheet, and that was great for backgrounds and sentiments, but I also didn't want to forget using my scraps. So my scraps of having black cardstock handy and then adding those extra details. And I wanted originally to do a window, a whole rectangle, but last minute changed my mind to add just some stripes and add a detail with this. Now with the friend dies, I cut with black cardstock 3 times to kind of have a layered sentiment look, and then I adhered that down. And honestly, that's how I've kept it. I could have added sequins, I could have added glass beads. I just wanted to keep this really simple. A lot of the class focuses on the detail, but adding simple details like with your pencils or your pens and leaving it as is and walking away. It's a bit hard for me, but I did it and I literally had to walk away. So I hope you liked today's inspiration from the class. Head over to my blog where I have created another card as well that adds the dotted details that I've done in here, but in a different format. So thanks for watching, everyone. All the products and descriptions are in the description below, but it's all in my blog. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up and the notification bell if you want to see more of this type of tutorial. You take care, everyone. Have a lovely day. Bye.